Okay, how I'd like to start this meeting is just to start with each of you and to hear what would be a really great outcome for you from today's meeting. So if you can think about that. Helga, do you want to kick us off?
Yes, I really haven't had a chance to digest any of the work. As you know, I've just been away, so I can't really contribute. All I know is that I've got to get home, re-listen to all the recordings, catch up. Yeah, I've been absent for almost 2 weeks. So
you put an awesome freebie together, though, so that's almost done.
Okay. Yes, yeah, I've just got to rehash that because that's one I already had, but I want to fine tune it and give it some more oomph. Yeah.
Great. Okay, cool. So what I'm hearing from you is you just want to kind of feel, I'm reading between the lines here, Helga. You want to feel a sense of relief that you're actually on top of everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Okay. Yep. I'm going to put sense of relief because I think actually you're doing much better than you're giving yourself credit for. And I know you've been away and it feels like it's been forever, but you haven't actually missed that much, and you're flowing really well.
Oh, fantastic! Thanks.
Okay, so we'll go through that just so that you see what I see. Okay, yep. Mary Elizabeth, how about you?
I think I would feel comfortable if I knew that even though I'm changing directions, the work that I've done isn't going to be wasted. And that when I'm ready to go back and pick it up, I'll know what that pickup point is.
Yeah.
And I won't feel like I have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I'm just writing it down so I make sure I got it. So even though I'm changing directions, I want to feel that the work I've done is not wasted. And when I circle back, that sort of you're leveraging the work you've done. Hi, Nicole. Is that right? So the work you've done, when you circle back, you feel like you know exactly what to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Nicole, we're just going around, and I'm asking everybody because this is kind of a new meeting. We haven't had a meeting like this before. So I'm asking everybody what would be an ideal outcome for you for today's meeting. You can think about that while I finish off my notes for Mary Elizabeth, and then it'll be your turn. Okay. So even though I'm distracted, even though I'm changing directions, the work I've done is, I want to feel that the work I've done is not wasted. When I circle back, I feel that I know exactly what to do. Okay. What to do. All right. Are you ready, Nicole?
Oh, you're on mute, Nicole.
Oh, yeah.
So you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, from our last conversation, I am still wrapping that up. So ideally, I don't have much questions. However, out of this meeting, what I think I would like to accomplish is the tool which was sent to us for the freebie.
So Marlon's template?
Yes.
Okay.
I was having sort of a problem. I was having a little problem going through it as far as like making changes.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can get any tip on making it easier, because I have been able to like remove some stuff and get some stuff done, but to like permanently move, like I have his picture there, I couldn't do it. Do I need another tool?
I don't think so. Has anybody used Marlon's template yet? I don't know if anybody else is actually using it. We'll have a look at it, Nicole. Okay, that's a great. So if you can feel confident in using Marlon's template, then that will be a great outcome for you for today.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're
following the PowerPoint template.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. I have worked through it. I've been able to add some stuff and whatnot, but I felt like I had changed it up a lot.
Okay, well, so when we're going through everybody, what I'd like to do for your component of today's meeting is go ahead and bring up that. Are you on your computer? Can you share screen with us? Yeah. Okay, so when we get to you, I'd like you to bring that up and share screen, and then you can show us what you've got, and we can talk you through it. Okay, so welcome Kelly and Jill and Marquita who've just joined us. What we're doing today is this is just an alignment call. So I'm just going around with everybody and taking notes on what would be a great outcome for you for today's meeting. So Kelly, I think you were next in line. Are you there? Can you tell us what your ideal outcome for today's meeting would be or is? Or she might have gone off to do something.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm here.
What would be an ideal outcome for you?
I don't know why my computer camera doesn't seem to work anymore. I am in Melbourne. I don't know, up from down. I have no idea what's going on. So I thought the best outcome for me is to just listen to what other people are doing because I need to do it. And when I get home and catch up on work, I think I'll just set the whole of Sunday aside to catch up and get my head around my ebook and stuff like that.
So for you, Kelly, maybe if you left today's meeting with a really clear sort of dot point list of what you need to do,
yeah,
and exactly, would that help you for preparedness for Sunday?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, that's nice and easy. I like that one. Okay, Jill.
Yeah, I guess I've joined because I obviously missed last Thursday, and I have listened to quite a bit of it. But I was just, I guess I'm still thinking about what I need to actually do. I'm a bit confused about all of those. I think, the list of emails and what I actually need to write up.
Okay. And how are you with your freebie? Have you started that yet?
No, I have one that was already written, which has taken. I guess that's the other thing, was just to clarify that I'm on the right track with that. I've actually got one written, and I'm going to add a little bit to it as part of my workshop workbook I'm in for the signature program anyway. Mm-hmm. Now, I guess if I understand correctly, he's suggesting, Marlon was suggesting taking like something from, like week 3 of your program, which is exactly what mine actually is. It's around about session 3 anyway.
Great.
So I think I'm on track there. It's just a matter of putting all that information together, writing it up. And I think that's where I'm struggling, is actually getting the time aside to actually write.
Writing up the freebie. Okay, great. That's a good one. So writing up the freebie and getting the time. So there's some time management stuff in there too, which seems to be your nemesis.
Yeah.
You've got so much happening.
On it brilliantly. Just can't do it myself. Actually, I've been away in Melbourne for a few days, so I feel like Kelly up and down the country. So that I was on a flight when the last meeting happened. So.
Okay. And are you going to be able to join the meeting tomorrow?
Thursday.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's just Wednesday. Whew, I'm getting ahead of myself. Thursday. Wednesday
I'll be able to join it. I'll be able to join the first hour of it. I have a meeting at 10:30, but I'll be able to.
So we'll get you in first and make sure that Marlon gets to see her freebie, because that's actually really, really important. Okay, cool. So welcome, Bethany. For you and Marquita, what we're doing, because we haven't had a meeting like this before, is we're just trying to get a feel for what would be a great outcome for you, both of you, for this meeting. So Marquita's next, and then you have a minute to think about what that would be for you. And then we'll sort of work our way through everyone. So Marquita, what would be a great outcome for you for today's meeting?
I don't know, like right now, like I've been just kind of going over everything as far as where I'm at. And, I changed my niche. So I'm trying to see, like, I pulled out because I had already created a program pretty much for the whole PTSD.
Yeah.
So now I'm pulling information from the PTSD piece of it and bringing it, like trying to combine it with this hormonal imbalance. So what I was thinking, because my thing is the whole brain gut connection, so I was thinking about having maybe the first phase focus a little bit more on the mind piece, the second phase focus on the gut area, and then the third phase focus on the whole connection, like the brain gut connection, how it all comes together.
Okay, so I don't want to go into too much detail just yet, but what I'm hearing from you, Marquita, is that some more clarity around the structure of your program would be really useful for you for today. Okay, cool. And specifically around that order. What's the first chunk, second chunk, and the third chunk? And then when it comes to filling in the gaps on each of your modules, are you feeling pretty good about that?
Well, I can pull content from my health coaching program. They give us quite a bit of information, so I can pull from other programs.
Okay, so it's just some clarity. So maybe if we're like a sounding board for you on your different components, that would be useful for you. Okay, cool. So is it confidence that you're looking for? What's the feeling, the inner state you're looking for?
Because with the ebook, it's pulling from a part of the program, but I don't even have that part of the program actually done.
Yeah.
So I'm just creating that, working off of that topic. So
Okay.
I want to see where that will fall at in my program. So that's why I was like, maybe I need to sit back and like really get the modules and the lesson plans completed. Then go ahead and finish the ebook.
Okay, and done. Okay, that's something I want to talk about. Okay, let's hear from Bethany. Bethany, what would be a great outcome for you for today?
I'm not really sure, actually. I mean, I kind of got a little bit stuck because I was trying to figure out what all the lessons would include, how long it would be, what it would cover, and all of this. And so I put together something that I thought was useful. I started doing my validation calls, and I conducted a couple of those, and really just started to feel like the whole thing was becoming way too divergent and not at all what I was interested in doing at all. Like all of a sudden I have to spend a whole year with somebody and really guide them through this long weight loss journey, and I don't really want to do that, So I think my problem was, we had the strategy call and little things early on that kind of got me moving in the right direction, but then I need to be able to have a look over to say, well, does this look doable, useful, practical? There's just way too many things out there to help people lose weight. So it's not like I'm going to reinvent the wheel perfectly or have something awesome that's going to, be better than all of them. I just want to have something usable at this point.
Yeah. So let's circle back. How many validation calls have you done?
I did 3.
Did 3. Okay. And are you still going?
No, I kind of stopped doing that because, to be honest, I got a little bit overwhelmed by the fact that we're steamrolling ahead so fast, and I still needed to fix that stuff. And I know you reassured me that it sounded like what I wanted to do sounded like a good thing, but when I did my validation calls that I did do, and also, Ben's feedback that was not entirely super nice, it was kind of like, yeah, you don't really have anything unique here. Why would anybody buy this from you? Everyone else is doing it cheaper, longer, better, faster, guaranteeing money back and all this junk. And it's just like, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to help people change their habits so they can lose weight, but I don't want to be a weight loss manager because I'm not a nutritionist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And you've been saying that all along. So I'm right on board with that. And it's interesting because, you heard one thing with Ben's feedback, and I actually heard something really different. Well, I'd really love to, let's start with Bethany, guys. Let's open up to the group, and given where, what she's just shared with us, is anything coming up for any of you, or questions you'd like to add, or any other clarification you'd like from Bethany? Jill.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I can kind of empathize with Bethany a bit because I feel a bit overwhelmed sometimes with the amount of writing and things that have to be done, and time and sticking with passion. And so I just want to encourage Bethany to just keep moving forward and to stick with what really you're passionate about, because the part that you're passionate about is actually what connects with people. So like when I hear you speak, so like for instance, I've just been told by my doctor I've got to cut out a couple of foods. He's trying to keep my weight loss thing really simple. But when I sort of talk to you, I'm just encouraged by hearing you say, hey, I just want to help people on this journey to stick to the habits. That's the kind of thing that I need, like that's why I would invest in a program like that. So I just want to encourage you to keep going with it.
Yeah.
Well, you might be right about the fact that not everybody wants a weight loss plan per se anyway. In fact, 2 of the 3 people I was talking to were like that. They were like, well, I'd like to get in better shape, lose some weight, change my habits, but I don't really want to be on a diet. I don't want to do this like major thing, which isn't what I want to provide anyway. So thanks for saying that, Jill.
Yeah. Bethany, what about health coaching? like kind of coach them along the journey as far as you don't really have to give them a plan per se, but maybe, because right now I'm in a health coaching class at IIN, and one of the things we focus on is primary and secondary foods. So with the primary foods, it's pretty much about the things that's kind of going on in our lives is actually driving us to eat certain foods, which are secondary. So we don't focus so much on the actual food itself. It's on what's going on in our lives. So maybe you can use the tool that you have and with the information that you've already created for your program, and kind of be there like as a coach. Someone to kind of help give them guidance when they feel like they're going to fall off the program. You can kind of speak from your own experience because you mentioned you lost so much weight, on your own program. And maybe 6 months.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It sounds like a lot more what I want to do anyway. I want to coach people. I don't want to like give them all these solutions necessarily, like here's an eating plan or here's a thing.
Okay, who else has got something? Helga.
No, what it sounded like.
I think it comes back to, and I keep having to remind myself of this too, is that people will resonate to you. They're actually coming because of you. So you've achieved certain things. All you have to share with your people and coach them is exactly what has worked for you. And it's the same with me. Sometimes I get caught up on, I should create this and create that, but that's not my journey. People are following me for what I have achieved in my own healing journey. And people will follow you for exactly what you have achieved, and they want to know how you've maintained it.
Gotcha.
So you don't need to create anything else. You just need to share and teach what you are. And I'm exactly the same. I don't need that thing because that's not what was part of my journey. And at the end of the day, they want you and they want me. And I think we just need to remind ourselves of that. I hope that's helpful.
Yep, totally. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Mary Elizabeth.
Okay, so like Marquita said, I think if they wanted a nutritionist, they would go to a nutritionist. And I think you not being a nutritionist is it lowers the barrier. So it's a little intimidating to go to a nutritionist because my impression, I've never been to a nutritionist, but my impression would be they're going to criticize the way I eat now. They're going to tell me what I should do. They're not really going to give me a whole lot of support. They're just going to say, here are the things that you have to do. And if you don't, you're going to stay fat. So whatever, lady. I mean, I just feel like and that's just my total preconception based on nothing, but I'm probably not alone. But you specifically saying, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm here to help you get your head right about what it's going to take to maintain a weight loss. That sounds a lot more appealing.
Okay.
And I can tell you with the meal planner that even though I'm changing directions and doing a product, I've had a lot of people say, oh, so you're going to offer recipes? Nope. Well, you cook vegan and you're gluten-free. Are you going to share that? Nope. Because I don't care if you are vegan. I don't care if you are gluten-free. I just think that people should be planning what they're going to eat every day because we have to eat every day. So, the diet is up to somebody else. You can find that somewhere else. You can figure out how to cook vegan on a million other blogs. All I'm offering you is a book where you can make your plan for yourself.
Gotcha.
And I've been really, really clear on what I'm offering, and people are like, oh, that sounds great. So, I mean, just as long as you're not pretending that you're something that you are, as long as you're not misrepresenting your credentials, I do not see a problem with it.
Thanks for that advice.
Yeah. Kelly's got her hand up too.
Yeah. You just can't tell because I'm so fast. Bethany, I would love to do a validation call for you because I think I'm probably your ideal client because I'm always wanting to lose weight. I've tried a million different things, and I think if you ran your program through with me, I could definitely give you like that person's psyche feedback. And I think your role probably, like for me, I would say, is to help me work out what's going to work for me. And for you to be there as a support to make sure I'm sticking to what I say I'm going to do. So, like, you're a different kind of role than Helga, who's into more the actual juicing and nutrition and medication, healthy, I think, healthy medication. Helga, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know much about it, supplements or whatever, that would help people heal from illness. But your role's more of a just find out how to get on track and stick with it. So, and I think all of you have a different role. So, yeah, I don't think you need to be a nutritionist. I'm going to see a nutritionist because she's got some cool machine that measures your hair follicle stuff. But it's more to tell me what my food sensitivities are than because she's a nutritionist. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what I need is someone that would keep me on track. So someone like you who's going to say, so, what are you going to have today? What are you going to do tomorrow? How's it going? How do you feel psychologically? Things like that.
Gotcha.
And is that more in alignment, Bethany, with the kind of thing you want to do?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, I want to help people kind of target their limiting beliefs, their self-defeating behaviors, set little goals, make changes that can increase their awareness and change habits long-term, not just some quick thing. So, yeah, you know, in this area. So yeah, that's really good. I appreciate all that feedback. Thanks.
I love what Kelly said about help me figure out what's going to work for me. It's kind of like, okay, here's all this data that I've collected from all these people and I don't know what to do with it. Like the hair follicle sample and the nutrition plans and this vegan cookbook and this thing. And you can kind of say, okay, you know, you can assess the person and help them map out their journey.
Yeah, but I think the other thing that is really good in what I'm hearing is I was trying to create these lists of all these things that would take me a lot of time to research and come up with, you know, all these different food plans for ideas and things that really is just not what I want to do. So all of that was sort of out of my comfort zone. All the coaching I can do, strategies and ideas I can do, but the things I was starting to write into my signature program were just like, exhausting me, to be honest. Yeah. It's just like I just don't have time to write hundreds of pages, and you know, or I think I'm exaggerating, but you know.
And I think you'd be wasting your time if you did do that, Bethany, because if you wrote me a diet or something and I looked at it and didn't like half the foods in it, I would just walk away. So your attraction is, okay, you tell me what you like and what you're thinking about doing, and I'll tell you if I think that would work with my experience, and more focus on the psychological. I think that's really where people need it. Like you said, self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotage, what it is that makes them fall, and to have someone there to pick them up. Because I know in the past, if I self-sabotage something, I would just give up altogether because I didn't have any reason not to. And I felt like a failure. So you can say to those people from my experience, like, you know, it's just one of the battles. It's not the whole war, you know.
Right. Thank you. So I know we need to move on to somebody else's problems, not just talk about mine all day. So what I need to decide.
Own this time. We're here for you, Bethany. Come on.
Everybody, though, we wouldn't be here if we didn't all want this, right? So just to wrap this up, I'm not sure what step to go back to, you know, to fix this and go back in the right direction, whether it's the initial 3 questions, whether it's just the lessons that I got lost on. I'm actually not really sure. How do I decide where I need to go back to kind of fix it?
Okay, there's some interesting stuff in the chat too, by the way, and Mary Elizabeth also said that this is also helpful for her. So actually you guys talking through your stuff actually does have a benefit for everybody else. So please never feel like you need to wrap up or you need to finish. Like, we need to get the job done because everybody learns from everybody. So what I'd like to ask you is, what is the question that you asked for your top 3 challenges? you remember?
Pretty sure it was, what are your top 3 challenges in losing weight and keeping it off?
Great. Okay. Everybody feeling that's a solid question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Anybody? Yeah.
No, it's good because the people define the problems themselves.
Yeah, we're getting nods and thumbs up. Okay, and then from there, you've mapped out your program. And then can you walk us through your napkin diagram, please?
My napkin diagram is like 4 pillars. It's your mindset and beliefs about it, limiting beliefs and all of that.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do your motivation for doing this. So your things about yourself, personal power. I'm having trouble phrasing this right now. And then the one down at the bottom was practical strategies that'll help you. So little things to do, whether it was sleep, water, eating, body fat percentage calculator, different things like that, you know. And then the last one is activity level, because even if you don't want to exercise, you got to be active doing something, like whether it's walking or something. And so my plan with that was just habit changes to get you active, not necessarily becoming athletic, you know, like 8 minutes a day kind of thing.
Cool. Really clear program too. Like when you map, you guys see the power of the napkin diagram? I think the only thing I would add to the way that Bethany just explained that is just say, so I've got 4 pillars, like use, and especially if you're on the phone or if you're in a face-to-face meeting, use visual anchors, basically. 4 pillars. The first one is mindset and beliefs. The second one is motivation, and it's all about helping you find your personal power. And she added a couple of little bullet points in there that were beautiful. The third one is some practical strategies like water, And then the fourth one is the activity level. Do you see how you guys are able to follow really easy when I put those simple numbers in there? So it's all about the structure and helping people feel that structure. I want to circle back to Jill and then to Kelly. Jill, hearing what Bethany just said about her program, how are you feeling about that? Because you're falling sort of, you and Kelly seem to fall sort of into possibly the closest in her niche.
Yeah, I think that's great, because I think for me, I've actually known for a while that I've been putting on weight because I hit menopause and kind of just changed a whole lot of stuff. And so I went to the doctor the other day, and of course I've put on a few extra kilos, and liver's not doing what it's supposed to do. And I'm actually pretty healthy, like I don't drink a lot of alcohol or any of that kind of stuff. So I know that it's some of my eating habits, for instance, that are, one of the things he's told me to cut out are things like potato and rice, and they're pretty much a staple of my diet. So having someone like Bethany say, well, what are you thinking about those? Like, for me, they're almost like the go-to plain easy kind of foods to go to. And it's kind of like, so I've been away in Melbourne, and it's like, you go out for lunch, and like I eat a lot of sushi. Well, it's full of white rice. Can't eat it. Have this and that. And it was like really, really, really hard to get my head around what I actually could do and not get really frustrated by the thought process. And I think that's where having someone like Bethany sort of said, well, what is it about those thought processes that you need to change and think about and do differently? What are the limiting beliefs that I have around food? Like I talk about limiting beliefs with leadership and teams and all sorts of stuff. What are the limiting beliefs that I have around food? So I actually think that would be really, really helpful. The whole program just sounds great.
Yeah. Kelly, what do you think? Thank you, Jill.
Sorry, I was missing the 4. What were the 4 pillars again? Bethany?
Here we go.
Yeah.
What?
You're frozen. Sorry.
Here we go.
Just a second. Okay, so the first one is we're going to tap into your, I don't even remember right now. Oh, personal power, your mindset, your awareness, limiting beliefs, and all of that.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go to your purpose, your motivation for doing this, and things that will help you reinvent yourself so you can keep moving forward. The third one is your practical strategies, new habits that will help you develop this new lifestyle you want. And the fourth one is physical.
Physical activity was the
all
fourth.
right. I was going to say she froze her in. I thought she was going to say physical, but I don't know if it. Yeah, now I got it. Sorry, they sort of freeze when you're on certain words. So to me, the whole thing sounds perfect for me, which I think I am your ideal client. So I would say, I would say definitely would do a validation call, and I'm not sure how you're going to structure, like over how many weeks or months and what amount of things come first, because you kind of need them all. But
Okay.
I think
Yes.
where you start, it's good to start with the psychological, where you got your beliefs about eating and food. Like, really, I shouldn't have a problem sticking to a healthy diet because I love healthy food. It's just partly it's organization, like Mary Elizabeth's addressing. It's because I don't plan. And then I run in and it's late and I feed the dogs. If I don't have the kids, I don't really care. I might just whack a baked potato in the oven and that'll be it.
Okay, so I think what we're hearing is the structure is good. Mary Elizabeth asked a great question. Mary Elizabeth, in the chat, would you like to just come on real quick and ask that question?
I was going to ask if any of those 4 things sound or feel kind of icky to you, Bethany. Like, are any of those 4 pillars things that you don't want to talk about? Oh, she froze.
I think
She's back.
it's kind of, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's a cell phone. You never know with that. So the ones I love are the personal power and purpose ones, because those were the ones that I really wrapped my head around. But when I did the question on Facebook, that's where the new habits and physical activity part came from. Yeah. So like for people to want this program, they have to believe they're getting that out of it, when really the plan is they need this other stuff. You know how like you have to give them what they want, but you know what they need. Yeah. So I'm not really super jazzed on the whole exactly what the habits are. And that's what made me lose interest, because that's where all the work has to be done in researching it. Because I'm not going to be able to sell them the program I did. It belongs to some weight loss place, you know?
Yeah, I can talk to that one actually, because when I went out, it was exactly like all coaches want marketing, but I'm not a marketing expert. And I tried to do it in my next generation product development for coaches, which is my initial version of the academy. And I started that like 5 years ago. And I was teaching the marketing, but just kind of the foundations, and I just wasn't into it. So now I brought in some marketing experts. Welcome, Dino. And now they do all of that, and I facilitate the group and hold it together, and it's still kind of my group. But Marlon, really, all that stuff that I could never hold a candle to the level he is, because I just don't care. So that could be something to think about, is collaboration. And you can still own it. You just subcontract someone in to do the bits you don't want to do. That's
a good idea. Thanks.
Yeah.
So I have one more question, then I promise I'll shut up. So my other question is, when I started to map out the pillars with lessons and stuff, yeah, I sort of got this idea that I had to go through one sequentially before I could go to the next. But I think it would be more effective to like pick some mindset things and then pick some motivation things and then pick some strategies and kind of rotate through those things to keep revisiting the important stuff. Mm-hmm. Is there a problem with that? I mean, is there a reason why I should focus on one whole thing at once? Is anybody else doing that?
No.
Okay.
No. I think I can talk to that one too. When I first started teaching this kind of stuff, and one bit that I used to teach websites, like setting up your whole entire website as well as your program and your information products. It was a massive program. And I cycled. One thing that I did find is just go back to the student journey and just put yourself in their shoes. And if you're going to teach cycle 4 topics like within a month, each month, it can get confusing and people can lose rhythm or flow. So just make sure that you've thought through it. I was doing business development-y stuff, so maybe it's a little bit different than the kind of thing, the topic area you're working with. But that was my sticking point, was I just found that it was a disjointed rhythm. So I would just encourage you to feel through that rhythm. And if you think, yeah, that feels really solid and beautiful and flowy, then go for it. Like, get as creative as you can.
Can I say something there? that's what I was saying to you before, Bethany, that I didn't know what your structure was going to be because you need all 4. So I think if you did do, like say you saw people every week for, I don't know, 8 weeks or something, if you had like a big round circle and cut it into 4 like a pie, and put each of those topics in one of them, and then each week you're used to doing all 4.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think they go together really well, and it would be disjointed to just teach one and then wait for 4 weeks and then introduce another one, because they really do. I would need all 4 of those all together.
Yeah.
So if you do just split it up so that you do new steps, maybe more difficult, more advanced stuff later on in your course, but start with some really easy steps, like getting organized with your plan of what you're going to eat and clean out the junk in the pantry or whatever, that you're just used to doing all 4 each time. That would have a nice flow.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah. Awesome. Something else came up for me for that too. It left. Anybody else have anything else they want to share with Bethany around her program? Mary Elizabeth.
I just wanted to make sure, Bethany, you saw in the comments, I think you could just do 3 pillars of power, purpose, and plan. And then when it comes to physical activity, that is part of a plan, because you have to make a plan for that.
Yep, thank you. I appreciate that, Mary Elizabeth.
And you can subcontract out physical activity.
Yeah, and you can also, that's the thing I was going to say, is you can say, okay, we need you to come up with, like if you're thinking about this wheel thing that Kelly was talking about, one physical activity thing, go out and research it. And then let them bring stuff to you and say 3 ideas or your favorite, or here are some resources. You know, that they can start.
Sorry about my big finger there. I have to close the chat to see people.
Okay.
That's awesome. Thank you all for your feedback and thoughts. It really helps me because I was really excited and totally deflated after a while, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, and so I want to talk about managing your emotional state. Like, you guys are in this immensely creative place right now because you're really birthing something, a transformational process that's going to change people and ultimately then change the world. So you're managing your emotional state is the #1 most important thing that you can do, actually, more than any work. I know I've already said this to a couple of you right now, and I've been applying this a lot more in my coaching business, especially in the last 2 or 3 months. And the difference that I'm seeing in the level of abundance, the level of peace and happiness in my own life, the sense of flow is phenomenal. So I just want to throw that out to you, that managing your personal state, and when you feel that sense of fear or like you've got to get on top of it, you can't let that spiral down, and especially you cannot create from that place, because the thing that you will create will not be serving anybody. You've got to create from up here, you know, circling in your high vibrational state. So the most important thing you can do is maintain your vibrational state, and sometimes that means stop working and go for a walk, or get a puppy, or join a pole dancing class. I don't know. Dino, especially you. All right. We can talk more about that if we need to, but I just wanted to throw that out there. It's so important. So, Bethany, I know that one thing, the last thing that was kind of the icing on the cake for you, and it still be relevant to everybody else too, is now that you've done 3 validation calls, how are you? Your program's looking good. Right, your program's looking good. You've done 3 validation calls. I'm going the wrong way. Okay, I'm going to start from this way because this is how you guys read. Is that right? It's backwards for me. Okay, so your program's looking good. You've done 3 validation calls. You need to do 7. I would really like you to do the 7, especially now that you've had this conversation. So how are you feeling with getting out there and booking those last 4? Kelly's another one, so you only need 3 more.
Yeah, thanks, Kelly. Yeah, I can do that. I cannot do it in the next 3 days. I work full time outside what I'm doing here, and
you don't need to do it in the next. Like, this is your journey, and so you do it in the time that you need to. The content and the material will be around, like, for the next 6 months and longer if you really even need it. Okay, so
that's cool.
Okay, so please enjoy the journey and use it to serve you. So I would say, for your bullet point list of what needs to be done, get those calls booked in. So can you just write that down? That's your action item.
Right.
Yeah, she's not writing it down. I'm going to write it down. Validation.
I'm writing.
Okay, calls. Thank you. Validation calls times 4, but Kelly is 1. Cool. Okay, and then where are you up to? And this is relevant. I'm going to go through this checklist with all of you, so to be thinking about this in your mind too. So, and then validation calls are still a work in progress. How are you feeling about your freebie or lead magnet or ebook? They're all kind of interchangeable words for me.
Easy. I had pitched that the first day we saw Marlon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that. I'm not worried about that. I didn't make it yet, but I have the concept.
Okay, so you're feeling good about it. Okay, so
yeah, totally.
Freebie. Okay, and then how are you feeling about the emails? Good place.
Have I?
She keeps freezing.
Like that. I haven't done those yet.
Okay, that's all right. So
I'm just behind.
Your action's right on track. So the emails are this week. If you can just read through Marlon's template and at least bring, you know how he is, like Nicole to last meeting, she brought a sentence. And by the end of that meeting, she had a whole freebie mapped out. Right? So bring a sentence, bring a concept, bring some headlines for each of your 8 emails. Marlon can work with that, and that'll take you 10 minutes, if that, to write 8 headlines. Yeah?
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 8 headlines. Okay, I think we're done. Are you feeling complete?
Totally. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Who wants, Dino, so what we kicked off the meeting with was everybody just said what they needed to get out of this meeting to make it a success for them. So I've just collected that information, then we've started with Bethany. That might have answered some other people's questions, and we'll probably go faster through some other people. What about you? What would you like to get? What would make this meeting a useful and successful meeting for you today?
I guess, I kind of just want to listen, but one of the things that I was kind of questioning was, I posted it in the Academy, but I don't know if it's okay if I can talk about it now for just a second here. Maybe I'm just looking for some more validation with it. But I was on a call with a friend of mine that's in Russell Brunson's inner circle, who's founded ClickFunnels. And he really just opened my eyes to like everything I have going on. I explained to him my whole program, and he specializes in product and service launches. That's what he does over a 5 to 7 day launch period, where they take your program, they launch it, video series, everything. And that's why I reached out to him initially. But as we were talking, he brought up a very good example of using influencers and Lady Boss, how they created their tribe, and they have this following through weight loss programs and living this healthy lifestyle. Well, they were doing very, very good annually with their business, and with their tribe and their following, they presented health supplements to, and actually started doing monthly, almost overnight, what they were doing annually by adding the health supplements to their business. So it was like a big eye opener to me, was like, wait, because like that was the validation I got with other guys too, with starting their own business, was like amplifying their sales. So for me, it was like huge eye opener, and, talking to him, because he was like, Dream 100, go after, the influencers and, people that have this tribe and this following, get them to add a supplement to what they're doing, because they already have a warm audience. They already have their people that are following them, and drastically increase their sales that way. Yeah. And using, the Lady Boss as examples, until I can get video testimonial and everything to launch it properly, and then work with him for a nice proven launch. But so that was kind of like my thing, was like a real eye opener for me. Because with initially, like my calls were kind of a little bit all over the place. I got good validation calls, but I was still a little worried on the validation calls, because, my initial question that I had asked was like, things holding you back, 3 major things holding you back from being a real go-getter in your business. And then like I launched into the health supplement, and I kind of like reached out to guys in different groups about the health supplement. I got some real good feedback with that. But I was still kind of just like worried about it. Like, is it am I solving a big enough problem? Do people really need this? You know, like that's kind of what I was dealing with. So like I needed to get more detailed with it. Like I needed to solve a better problem. And that's kind of like the clarity I got over the past week talking with Jeff was like the amount of people that have this tribe and this following, but like don't want to spend the money on supplements, don't want to start the teaching, don't know where to start with it, but are in the health niche. Perfect example is like if, you know, you would have pitched this to the guys with Lady Boss 7-8 months ago, picture being in those shoes. So, you know, so it really opened it up for me. So I think it was just even more validation because like I was struggling with that for a little bit. Like, is my program strong enough? You know, like who really needs that relief right now? Because it's tough to say they need that relief, but those that want to drastically increase their sales through this process, that already have a warm audience. I mean, it just makes sense. And the validation I got was like Lady Boss did it. You know, Lady Boss did it, and it's being done more frequently. You know, I think Lynette, she commented on it and said, you know, she noticed it in one of the ageless women groups that she's in. They added health supplements, and now they have 7 health supplements that they're providing.
So what do you guys think about Dino's like clarification and sort of amplification of his ideal client? Like he's getting closer and closer and closer and closer. Anybody want to comment? Yeah, Mary Elizabeth.
I think it's great, and I think the audience is definitely there. But I wouldn't want to go off of someone's past examples or, 7 months ago they started this. So are you going to have some validation calls with these influencers? What do you think?
I am. I'm going to continue to roll out these calls. But what I like about it is like I kind of saw the relation there with the entrepreneurs that I had the validation calls with previously that were already business owners, which was really cool. And it was like more along the lines of the marketing aspect, which a lot of these influencers already have is they're marketing themselves. You know, they already have these, 50,000, 200,000 million followers. So yeah, I am. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to get some more evidence on it, get some more validation. Helga?
Are all of these people, obviously, they're in the health industry that you're targeting? All in the health industry, obviously bringing supplements into their existing businesses. Is that what you're doing?
Yes. So I would be offering them a health supplement, strictly like influencers is who I'd be going after. Those that are, whether they just have a following, a tribe built up, but they don't have a health supplement yet. But it could be, a fitness guy that is in the gym and he's got 100,000 followers and he's pumped up all the time. He's got great people that follow him, hundreds, thousands of comments. I'd reach out to him and offer him an option for like a nitric oxide muscle pump product or something that he would pick out himself through the options that I have through my manufacturing company that he could then display to his clients. He would obviously pick the product, but yeah, so they would be influencers with a following.
Oh, that's interesting. See, I did it. I came at it from the other end. The product found me. And then I created my business around the product because I just didn't want to be seen to be sharing the product.
Yeah.
Just the product. So I created my health and wellness and my whole healing journey. But the flagship product is that product that was the 80% of my healing journey. So I've come from it from the other angle, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's exactly kind of like what it, because I have hundreds and hundreds of products that they can private label with it. We can custom manufacture products. Cost goes up a little bit. From pre-workouts to nitric oxide protein powders. They want to put their name on a protein powder. And all greens, a fruit and veggie, a natural mood support, a Zen support, sleep support. So there's so many different options that we can do. I can do pet supplements if they want to do a pet supplement if someone's promoting pets. So if they have followings with a lot of an influencer that has a just dedicated to their tribe, we can craft a health supplement, a skincare product. We can craft that around their audience.
That's so awesome. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I think you're really on to something. Does anybody else have any comments for Dino? We need to get moving to some other people too. Any other comments, feedback, questions? Okay. I just want to say that so this is the journey. Like once you start with that silly little question, what are the top 3 challenges keeping, you stuck from whatever? And then you get this data. And then you're like, okay, I think my people are here. I mean, and how many of you can relate to this journey? And then you start interviewing some of them. And like, oh, yeah, some of them are perfect. And oh, some of them are terrible. And I would never want to work with them. And oh, but that one person was really great. And then that like takes you out of your comfort zone and exposes you to these new possibilities. And then you start following. So that's what, the exact journey you've been doing. Like you were started on entrepreneurs, and then you've got this little nibble that maybe it could be entrepreneurs who want to add health supplement, and now it's like influencers, and that once you start in that, who knows where it's going to go next. So just keep your mind open, because as you keep taking these steps and continuing this high vibrational state and dedication to your program, and keep talking with these people, then you start to learn more and you're able to serve more. But keeping yourself open and keeping yourself in this positive place to be receptive, to receive, is so essential in the creation process. So what I'm feeling with you, Dino, and I know that when we had our strategy session, you went into that creative space. I'm just curious to know if you've been in that space a lot lately, because it sounds from your results, it's sounding like you have been.
and I love it. Like, this, just for the record here, the value I would put on your program is much higher than what I paid. So phenomenal.
Thank you. I'll take that in a testimonial in a couple of months.
I would love to. I mean, honestly, I would love to, because it's the God's honest truth. So, and absolutely, I just went through that process again with a fellow member of mine that's in another inner circle that I'm in, and they kind of did the same thing. So it was really nice to put me back into that state. And I do that a lot. I do a lot of the techniques. I do a lot of the grounding, because I do need to rest up here sometimes. I need to feel here. I need to be able to hear, because I produce from here.
Yeah.
I grow when I'm authentic and I'm vulnerable enough to say it, so it's like, it's very, very good. And this whole process has just been absolutely amazing. So yeah, I have found myself in that state recently. And I think that's led me to be more open-minded to these possibilities and just to keep evolving.
Absolutely. I guarantee you that's exactly why you're getting this feedback because you're playing in that space. So guys, I can't express how important it is to just create from that space of a high vibrational state. Like, never create something for your clients when you're feeling like shit. Go for a walk. It's a waste of your time. Okay, awesome. Let's move on, guys. Who wants to go next? Jill. Oh, Jill and then Nicole.
Well, Nicole can go first if she likes.
Nicole, would you like to go first? Oh, are you there? Yeah. Oh, she's going to do a screen share with us.
Okay. Where I am really stuck is on number 2. You see, I put in my picture, I was able to put it in, but if I move it, oh, that was my problem.
You just needed us to be watching, Nicole.
I think I solved it and I didn't even realize I did it.
Oh, cool. Okay, so guys, for those of you who came in later, Nicole's using the PowerPoint template that Marlon sent through.
So, Benny, I am
Yes.
sorry. I apologize. I don't have a problem. All I need now is to fill my spots. That's all.
Okay, well,
Because
let's
number 2 is my problem.
number 2.
Really. Yeah.
You mean you want to talk us through it? Show us the cover and then just talk us through it so everybody can see.
Okay, I haven't filled it in yet, because what I've been doing is working on Word,
Yeah.
and I've writing. So I haven't really done anything. But this is my cover sheet. This is my cover. I just filled this in. I'm yet to put a few things on Facebook in the group to see what others think about my heading. So I just filled this in and I put the heart and soul of a professional woman to start. And in 2, I talked a little bit about myself and what I'm doing and all the points that I'm going to talk about in the program. And this is the first point, know what she wants. I don't think I'm going to keep that picture, but I'm going to work some more. And basically, the others just have, you know, what I'm going to talk about. You know, number 2, woman of power. Another one I have to change also. 3, action, the action plan for the woman, professional woman. Number 4, high energy, she should have high energy to perform, so high performance. And she loves, so self-love and love for others. And number 6, she's a woman of excellence. And I'm yet to finish launch and load up. That's about it. So I'm not quite done.
Okay, I think you should bring this to the meeting tomorrow. You can end the share. Let's just get some feedback from the group. But I think that this will be a great one. I'd love for Marlon to give you some feedback on this too. Does anybody have any feedback, questions, comments for Nicole while she figures out how to end the screen share?
I do.
Go for it, Kelly.
I'm wondering, like, this is more of a description of someone. What's the pain point and how are you going to, I mean, what's the offering to the people?
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to know what I'm offering, but at the end of it all, part of it is that I'm giving the professionals an idea of what I'm going to offer as far as with the focus, with meditation, and I'm also going to put in a few of the other stuff like the prana and stuff that I use. So
yeah,
at the end,
I think you need to make it clear what it is you're offering, maybe further up the chain before you, because you're just describing somebody, you're not hitting a pain point. So maybe you start, like Marlon said last week, how to take your business to the next level, and then maybe put something, are you suffering from disorganization or time management problems, or find some pain points to hook them in, and then you say what you're going to do to help them. So even on your pages where you've got what the professional woman is, maybe on that same page where you're going to put some text, right? I have tools to help you become like this, you know what I mean? And then offer meditations or try this, and put a few examples of things they can try under each of your headings, like some tools.
Yeah, does anybody else have any feedback, questions? Mary Elizabeth.
Nicole, what are they getting from the download? Not from your program, but from the download.
Right now I'm working on a meditation for my number 4. So that is part of it. I know you're talking about the tools they're getting. So that is part of it, part of what they're getting. And they're not going to get the heart and soul of the professional woman. Like, they already have a heart and a soul, presumably. So, like, why would they click on your download? Is it the professional woman's guide to meditation to take their business to the next level? Is it, like, what do I get in exchange for giving you my email when my inbox is already overflowing? You're supposed to be getting ideas on how to. You're supposed to.
I don't want ideas. I want a solution. Like, right there.
Ideas and a solution on how to move from being, like Kelly said, if they're depressed or reached a certain part in their career and they're stuck, they're supposed to be given ideas on how to move to that next level.
Yeah. How about for your title, something like how to get unstuck in your career? It's not great wording, right? But it's starting to circle around the problem.
I wouldn't say this either. It's just something I wanted to put there so I can look at it and keep going over it and find something.
Yeah. No, and I get this is just an early draft, and we're all just like helping each other up level. Jill, it looked like you were going to say something.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
And another thing is that I realized today, not being totally clear on how I have formatted the module.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is one of the reasons why I am not moving the way I should move, because I'm not totally clear on my module.
Okay. Let's hear what Jill has to say, and I'll come back to that one.
Oh, I was just going to say, Nicole mentioned that, it's the getting women from, if they're in a bad way of thinking about their career or about that, to a better way of thinking about that. And I think that, I'm not sure if it was Kelly or someone said that does really need to be right up front, because that's the thing that people will be looking for. That if someone's struggling, if someone's got, isn't doing as well in their professional world as they could because they're struggling with some other area of their life, that is what they want help with, and that needs to be right up front. That they actually see that what you've got will actually help them with that.
Yeah, I think career is an important key word for you to use in your material, Nicole. Marquita, yeah.
One of the things, Nicole, get clear on who this professional woman is, as far as what is it, the professional woman who is stuck in her career, she's reached a, and she's ready to go to the next level. Is it the entrepreneur woman? Kind of make it a little clear, so when it comes to maybe the professional woman's guide to getting stuck from her, or taking her career to the next level. So give them information on different tools and techniques that you have that can actually help them elevate. Find out, maybe they've outgrown that particular role they're in. Maybe they strive to be more into management now. Maybe they decide this is just no longer the career for me. So kind of get a little bit more clear on that. And I think you'll be fine.
Career. And Dino asked a question, is this a lesson in your program based on meditation? No. I think it looks like your freebie, Nicole, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of like cherry picking some key themes throughout the whole program, and then just highlighting kind of the big why that is important, so that these women can start to open their brains about, oh, right, if I want to succeed, I need to be able to address these key kind of pillars or aspects of my life.
Yeah.
And that can work well too. You can do kind of a broad brush of their whole program, or you can actually give away the most important part of your program. I've done both. The last one I did for the Academy was a broad brush, and I gave something away from each module. But the next one, I'm actually going to give away a whole big module, or a whole big lesson in a module. So I'm going to try both and see what works. Every audience is a little bit different.
Sorry, Benay, didn't you say when we were on our last call with Marlon not to give your whole program away?
Sorry, not the whole program. But Marlon likes the idea of giving away kind of your best lesson.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you say don't give it away, does it mean don't mention all the other bits of it?
Oh, right. So, sorry, let me clarify. Good question, Kelly. For mine, I don't exactly tell them all the things, exactly how to do it, because you can't in a 8-page freebie. But you can say, here are the main steps, and here's some of the benefits of why you need to take all these steps. So you're really focused on why and not so much how.
Okay.
And then you teach the how. Marlon doesn't teach that so much. He teaches, give them your best thing, leave it an open loop, which I think is also brilliant. And I think both can work, and it's just worth testing both, really. Okay, so I promised Nicole I would circle back. with regard to you not having mapped out your full program yet and you feeling a little bit stuck. And that's totally fine. Like you and I are working on that outside of this, so we'll get there. And as far as so what I'm hearing is you've got your cover page, you've got your intro page that sets the context. So that's part 2. And then you've got part 3, which is you see how I'm doing visual anchoring again? I learned this in speakers and trainers. Then you've got your middle bit, which is your content. So those are your 7 steps. And I'm hearing that those 7 steps might change as you continue to massage and work through your program. Totally fine, as long as you know that there's some flexibility in there. And then you've got your close. So get it. I mean, the good thing is now you've got something to bring to Marlon tomorrow to show him. So that's great. And the middle bits don't matter so much. The most important thing is the picture and the headline. So if I were you, I would focus on those 2 things. You know, if you're feeling a little bit unsure about the title, I think one came out that was really good that I would just try. The Professional Woman's Guide to Getting Unstuck in Your Career. I forgot who said it, but it sounded really good. So try that as your headline. Let's see what Marlon has to say about your intro page tomorrow. Leave the 7 steps. Just make sure the pictures and the subheaders are there. And then see if you work on your call to action close page. And then with that, and then we can fill in all the kind of the middle bits because people don't read them anyway, but we want it to, you know, to feel right and be congruent. So, okay. Is that feeling good?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Nicole. Jill.
So I guess there's a couple of things I've brought up, and hopefully I can work out how to share my screen.
Okay, there's a little green button in the bottom. Yeah, share screen.
Yeah, and all I need to do is bring up that one, I think. Open that up.
Okay, and just to recap for those of you who came in late, so Jill's goal for today was, am I on the right track with my freebie? And then just writing up the freebie and finishing off and finding that time in her sort of busy life has been a challenge. So this is what we're helping Jill with for today. I'm
just trying to find where my... oh, okay. Did that come up? Is that?
Yeah, we can see a file list of files.
Yeah. Can you see my Extend Coaching thingo now?
No, we just see a list of files.
Okay, hang on while I bring it up out of here. Then that might work. Okay, it doesn't seem to.
You might have to, Marlon actually taught me this. I've been using Zoom for over a year. And, but if you just do an unshare real quick, Jill. So close down your share.
Yep. Hang on a minute. Move that out of the way.
Yeah, this is the thing. We've got so many things open.
Now I'm just losing everything. Okay, where are we? That's it there.
You sound like me.
All I've got is a few people at the side and I can't find anything now.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can help you. Jill. I can't unshare your screen.
I can't even get into Zoom.
A lock screen share, lock me.
I've got pictures of people down the side, but I can't get it past that.
Let's see. This will stop the user screen sharing. Do you want to continue?
Okay. My screen sharing is paused. It says up here. Stop share. There we go.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. Okay, so now do it again, and if you have multiple tabs or windows open, you want to make sure you select the first one, which is desktop, and then when you open your file, it should work. We'll see if that works.
I don't have a desktop one there. So if I go share screen.
Yep. And then does it give you some choices?
Oh, yep, now it's giving me some choices. So hopefully that one will come up. Can you see something now?
We see a black screen.
Right. Okay.
Yes, Extend Coaching, great.
Yeah. Okay, so this is actually the original one I did, but the part that I plan to use for, if I can get it to go down, scroll down, is actually, there's a section on, so my, the first module is on building confidence and all around what their role is, what their strengths are, who they are. And then the second module is all about building the team. And so this is what I originally wrote. So there's some reflective questions for them to think through themselves. And then down the bottom of that is a team exercise that they are to do with the team. So basically that's what I want to put in the freebie, is that second part of it. So like the team part, not the leadership bit, but that building your team. Because that is a pain point for people, working out what they want their team to look like if they're a new leader. So people who haven't led a lot before.
Great. If you can take us to the team exercise so we can just kind of read that real quick, and then we'll stop share and have a chat about it. Team exercise, here we go. So everybody just have a quick read to yourself. We'll give you a minute.
Oh, look, there's a spelling mistake in there that my daughter didn't pick up.
That's okay. We can deal with that. Cool. Okay. You can. Anybody else need more time to shout out? Okay. So end share, please, Jill, and then let's just have a chat about this. Okay, guys. Who's got some feedback for Jill for her freebie?
Okay, I have a question. Can you hear me okay? Am I not frozen?
You're not frozen.
So I was just reading the last part when you stopped screen sharing, so I didn't see this, but I wanted to know if there were some questions about how team members would be held accountable or hold each other accountable. Like, not just the forward-looking stuff, but sort of the checking.
I've got to update part of it, but part of it is actually what behaviours are we going to accept and what behaviours are we not going to accept in the team, so that the team is aware of how they are meant to behave. So this is an exercise that the team, this is how it is in my head. The way this freebie should work is that the first part of it is that they take time for some self-reflection. What do they actually personally, because my niche is new and up and coming leaders, so it's people who don't have a lot of experience in leadership. So often they're people who, for the first time in their life, they're actually having to work not just alongside other people, but lead those people in a team. And so the first part is really what's the ideal team going to look like, and then the second part of it is an activity to do with the team to actually make that so bring everybody in that team onto the one page, so to speak. So that's the kind of thing in there. So the questions then are kind of meant to reflect that, and then I also have that's just a straight writing out. I've obviously put it in some kind of format that is a little bit easier to use. But
did you have a look at Mary Elizabeth's freebie that she uploaded on the Facebook page?
No, because I've been off Facebook.
Oh, right. Well, maybe you guys could connect and get it through email if you're not on Facebook.
I'm hoping to get back on Facebook, and I took some time out because it was just taking up too much of my time.
Yeah.
The best way to do it.
Never check my personal page.
Yeah, so I've just been uploading photos of when I've been away through Instagram. They come.
Yeah. I do the Instagram one too. It keeps me off of my personal, because you just get sucked in like 2 hours past, and you're like, okay.
Take a break, and I'll be back on at the end of the week.
The cool thing, like what I'm seeing a lot of similarities between what Jill's got and that kind of incomplete loop that Mary Elizabeth's doing in her freebie. Do you see that too, Mary Elizabeth? It's like she's got this like really great list of questions. So you've got remember the structure. It's the first page is just a big headline. So do you have a good headline for this thing?
I have been thinking about it. I wrote it down here. I'm not super brilliant at coming up with headlines, I have to say.
We can do this today and tomorrow, so you will get it. Don't
I've got like creating the dream team, building a winning team culture from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
Team mission possible, how to create a great team culture, getting difficult people on board, creating an inclusive culture, help, my team gets away with murder, your team, what's wrong and how to fix it.
Cool. Anybody, any suggestions, thoughts, given, you know, what the freebie that you guys just saw?
Well, I have a clarification point. This is for people who are going to lead the team, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the freebie, you're not necessarily expecting team members to go through these exercises, are you? Are these possible exercises that the leader can have at her disposal?
Yeah, so the idea would be that as a leader, they come in, they've now got a team, and part of working with the team is to understand who the team is and their personalities, and to do some work around that, which they would do because part of my program has a face-to-face component with me as coach. So working with them, and then they come to the part of things like, how do we get all those personalities onto the same page and working on the same page? So the exercise is for the first part of that is an exercise for the leader personally to reflect on and think.
Okay, but when you're talking about the freebie, not the program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the freebie. The first part of the freebie is some reflective questions that the leader themselves would think through. And then the second part, they actually take to their team and work with their team. So it's the tool to work with their team. It's the solution, if you like.
Okay.
But what you're going to give as the freebie is just the reflective questions.
The reflective questions and the bottom questions for the team.
I would actually just do the reflective questions personally.
I would too.
Yeah, keep it simple. And just say, if you want the rest and you want to flesh this out with your team, then let's have a talk. And I'll give you the next questions. Like, what a great carrot. That'll make your call to action really compelling.
So just the first page then with the...
Just those questions, like, yeah, just keep it simple. The thing is really, in the first page, having a headline that's something like, I don't know, reflective questions for a new team leader, or a team audit before you start to make big changes. We'll come up with something amazing, but it needs to set that scene. And then the second page is setting the context. So what's the problem? You're new to team leadership. You need to get your head around how you want to shape this thing into a high-performing team. These are the questions that you need to ask. Then questions, and it's just the list on one page. And then if you want the next set of questions and how to work with this through your team, give me a call, and I'll give you the next questions. I'm excited about this freebie. Other comments, questions, feedback?
What about something like going from team player to team leader?
Oh yeah, that was in the chat.
I like it.
Because the ones that you gave kind of gave the impression of people who are already established as team leaders. It didn't really identify that this is really for newbies.
Yep. No, I like that. I'm writing that down. Thank you.
And probably a sub-headline in there too about an audit or, yeah.
That's like a catchy headline and then the rest. And Jill, when you're done talking, if you'll put your email address in the box, I will share the Canva design with you by email.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, because once you jump in Canva, and Marlon did give us the PowerPoint presentation, and if you guys do prefer PowerPoint to Canva, but you can get so much. I find his design quite masculine. I've
already made a front page in Canva.
Okay, yeah, cool. If you start to get comfortable with it as a tool, because it's just an awesome tool anyway. And if you can just say, whatever, you need a worksheet template, you need a cover template, and just pull it across and you print your PDF and boom, it's done.
Yeah.
That's really good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so real quick, so your program's for like those in the professional field. So if somebody gets a promotion, they become a new leader. Okay, great. So actually, I have some experience with that, and I really like what Mary had said, because that's something that I would have really clicked on, like if I saw that, because when I got promoted to assistant manager and general manager and district manager with some different businesses, I was constantly researching like how to do the job better. Like I was constantly researching how to have my team structured in a good way that they will want to come to work and work with me, and we can all be cohesive and perform. So, I relate to that. I kind of put it in the excerpt. I was looking all over the place. I look at how Disney ran their models and how they treat their employees and their guests. I go, do a bunch of things. But I felt that anxiety coming up. So I really like her line there is like going from a team player to a team leader, because like a lot of people coming up and that get promoted, like that's what they go through. you know, that's what I went through. It was like, oh, as a team player, then boom, I get promoted, and it's like, now I'm a team leader. Now what? How do I guide my team the best? You know?
Yeah. That's good, because that's what my program is about. It's about that team leader who is new in this position and suddenly goes, well, what the heck do I do now? Where do I go from here? What do I do? Obviously, someone's seen something in them, or they're good at whatever they do, but where do they go from there? So, yeah, the process is looking at their own leadership strengths and giftings and abilities and strengths, and then using them to work with this kind of stuff with the team, and then move on. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Thanks for that.
Great. Okay, how are you feeling about your freebie, Jill?
I feel really good about the freebie. It's a matter of putting it together. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed by the possibility of having to write a whole stack of emails.
Okay. Well, let me give you guys a little tip about the emails. Write the headlines for each one. So that's 8 sentences, right? And bring that to the meeting this week. If you guys can do that, that's enough. Because you find with Marlon, like, he'll usually change everything anyway. So starting with the headline is really smart. Because by you having done that, you would have thought through the structure, and then he'll like say, oh, but I would have changed this and this and this. And then you just change some headlines rather than rewrite everything. What were you going to say?
Can I just clarify that? I think from listening to what he's been saying, that the freebie goes out. Are these 8 emails after that then? Are they that? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question. So the freebie is our lead magnet, or whatever you want to, or the ebook is the carrot that we're dangling because somebody's got a pain point, they've got a problem, so they get that. They get into your email system, and then they get a series of emails that nurtures them basically, and hopefully gets them into a discovery call. Or
so what I'm hoping is that those 8 emails, once they're written, they can then be scheduled so that when somebody.
Yes. And we'll get into setting them up and creating them next week. I think that's the next step. Yeah. So first we're going to write them, and we're going to look at the technology that we need to actually set them up and make them automatically be delivered.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about that just yet, because that's what's kind of been throwing me. Because like I use MailChimp, and it's working for what I need it to work for, I think. But I'm just not really familiar on how to set those kinds of things up. Yeah.
Okay. We'll just let it go right now. Like, let's deal with that piece next week, because this week is just about getting the emails and bringing something together so that you know when it comes time to write the emails that you're on the right track and you've got the structure. That you feel like, I can do this. Like Bethany said earlier, you know, she's like, I can do the freebie. Like, it's not done, but I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
It's kind of where we want you to be with the emails. So I would recommend bringing the subjects for each of the 8 tomorrow. And if you can have written a couple of them, great.
Right.
That's fine. Like, don't kill yourself over it. Do as much as you can to get some feedback. Because Marlon, you can see, can work with a tiny thread, but he's got to have something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll just tell you, like the last launch that I did, where I had I think I actually had a 10 email sequence. I had written the first 2. I launched my freebie, launched the Facebook ad campaign, and I had 2 emails written, maybe 1 set up. And each day I was writing the next email. So you can actually do it down to the last line if you so like to be stressed like me. I gotta write this, but there's just one way to get it done quick. Okay. All right. Anything else that you need, Jill?
No, I think that's it for me. I feel quite confident that I'm on track sort of with that, and that I'm going with it now. So that's
right. Good. And Marquita said you have to go. We didn't get to you.
I know. I'm running behind.
I wish you would have said something earlier. We could have squeezed you in.
Okay.
Do you have 5 minutes? If we get to you right now? Yeah?
All right.
Don't look so excited about it.
I know, because I'm stuck on the screen was stuck here. Okay. I forgot. What did I tell you I needed?
Okay, you said that you wanted to talk about you're changing your niche, and you wanted to feel confident about your program structure, because you went from PTSD to premenopausal and premenopausal.
Oh yeah. So right now I've been pulling information from the PTSD program. So I think what I was thinking about doing is setting it up in 3 phases, and the first phase would be, since I deal with like the brain-gut, the whole brain-gut connection, I wanted to focus more on like the hidden mysteries of the brain. And that will focus on different topics associated with consciousness, subconscious, those different levels of consciousness, and mindfulness, and getting to the root of what's causing what's going on in their personal life or in their career life that could also be impacting the imbalances in their hormones. So then the second phase would be more the gut phase. So that will be more of an introduction. So we'll talk about the different hormonal imbalances as far as the symptoms, different foods that actually can heal in that area, and what else? I can't think, but different food is medicine. And then the third phase is about bringing everything together. And that will be like the brain gut, that's the actual connection. So it's taking my scope for the brain gut connection and actually splitting it up in 3 phases. So right now it's just like I have to put those phases together. So I have just a lot of material. So it's kind of overwhelming as far as taking what pieces that I need, because I'm pulling information from my health coaching class, plus pulling information from NLP, and it's just like bringing it all together.
Yeah. So are you feeling confident about those 3 components? That sounds really similar to when we met last week.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with those 3.
Okay, they're feeling solid. Okay. I know I feel sometimes like I'm a bit of a broken record, so like you can tell me to shut up if you've heard this a million times already. But when you're launching your program, like I don't personally stress a whole lot about, I wish I had it right here, about my, so much about the program. Like I literally had 8 bullet points of what I was going to teach when I launched my signature program pilot. And this was last year, because I knew that I needed to do these things roughly. And I knew what I would teach in my first session, and then I would, if we had enough time, then I would go and teach the next bullet point too, because I had no idea how much time it was going to take my people to do it, because I'd never run the program before, right? So when you guys get caught up on mapping out full lesson plans and things, I'm just like, just put the brakes on, because you don't need to actually have all this content done, because the chances are so likely that once you get through your first 5 clients with your program, you're going to change a lot of it. Like every time I run this course or this work, and I've been running this work for 6 years, you know, but in different iterations, I change it. I pull out whole sections. Like we used to teach a whole website section. We don't do that anymore. You know, we did a sales call section last time. I pulled it this time. You know, so much stuff, it gets pulled or added in. I'm like, oh my gosh, we need this. We need a section on, you know, lesson planning, or we need, and I'll add it in. So I just want to encourage and invite all of you to trust your inner knowing on this stuff, because you all know what you're doing. Like I wouldn't have let you come into the program if I didn't think that you had the knowledge you needed to have a one-on-one coaching session with someone to help walk them through these steps.
What do you think? So with my health coaching program, it's a 6-month program it's already pretty much outlined. What if I kind of gear that towards more of the, kind of take an area and focus more on the hormonal imbalances and maybe just add a mind piece to it? Because it's more nutrition. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Your face is not encouraged. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
I think you do know, Marquita. Oh, but maybe that sounds like a cop-out. Does anybody want to contribute something to Marquita here? Or anything that we've just talked about? Silence.
Marquita, I just think you're trying to force it together somehow. But if you start writing one component of it, it will come together.
Yeah.
Like, what do you like to teach more? The mind aspect, the gut aspect, or the connection? What's your favorite thing to talk about?
Is how the 2 connect. So
it's the connection. Okay.
But I was thinking, in order to, before I can really talk about the full connection, I need to talk a little bit about the mind, give a little bit of information about the gut, and then how they all work together. So because it's a cycle.
Okay, well,
So,
I homeschool, and I've been teaching writing, essay, reflective writing, research writing, narrative writing, retelling writing, story writing, and we never, ever, ever, ever start at the beginning, ever. We never
Okay.
start writing at the beginning because that is really hard and it doesn't make any sense. Like Benet was saying, you're going to go back and change it. So we always start somewhere in the middle of our writing. And I always tell the kids, start with the paragraph that's going to be easiest for you. We have an outline, so we know a couple of things that they're going to talk about. So they talk about the one that's going to be easiest to talk about, and we write that paragraph. And then they can see, okay, well, I said this in mind-body connection. So when I go back to this paragraph up here and I talk about mind, I clearly have to include these 4 components because I talked about them down here in connection. Does that help? I mean, I think if you just start with
I
the
see what you're
easiest,
saying. So you're
Yeah.
saying start with the actual connection itself, and then as I go through the program, we can hit on those other areas.
because then when you go back to mind, you know exactly what you have to talk about. When you go back to gut, you know exactly what you have to talk about because you've already written out the things that you really want to make sure you're teaching people in how they connect.
But what I'm hearing, Mary Elizabeth, is you're not saying that you would coach it necessarily in that order, but you would create it in that order.
Yes. Yeah.
So
'Cause
yeah, go ahead.
well, so Marquita said she loves to talk about the connection. So, I mean, I kind of sort of know about the mind-gut connection. I know about mind-body connection. But what would you have to tell me about mind-gut connection? Are we talking about how the gut can cause brain fog? Are we talking about?
We're talking about the gut, like it all starts in the gut area. So
Okay.
so it's like there's that little hidden ecosystem within our gastrointestinal tract. And if
Right.
that's out of alignment, out of balance, that is going to cause the actual hormonal imbalances, autoimmune. So, and that triggers how the mind operates. So it's like, that's where I was.
You know what's coming up for me, Marquita? Did you go back when you changed your niche to do your top 3 challenges question for your premenstrual and menopausal women?
Yeah, it was, I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, but you did it, and you did your A to Z again?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, okay, good.
I don't have it.
It's okay if you don't have it. I was just wondering.
Anyway, it was, what are the top 3 challenges that's stopping you, I think, of living free from PMS or something like that, I forgot.
Okay. And you got some good responses from that?
Yeah, because a lot of it has been like the hot flash, all these different things.
Yeah.
But from the research I've done, it all boils down to your diet. It's diet and lifestyle. So it's like if the gut is unhealthy, the mind is unhealthy. The mind is unhealthy, the gut. They work together. So it's like, let's see, healthy thoughts, healthy food, and let's bring some balance there. And so that the actual connection can work. There can be some harmony opposed to a disconnect and pain. So,
okay,
I know what I want to do, but it's like it's a lot in my head. So
you feel overwhelmed. I wonder if you and I maybe need to have a private conversation just to sort of flesh it out a little bit more, because it feels like you're going back to the drawing board for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Is that how you're feeling, or?
It's like I have like all these pieces. Imagine got all these forms, and it's like, okay, now we got to put it together.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. So because my mind is very, project management is my thing. So I'm very systematic. I like structure, and so I just feel like I need it to flow so that I'm able to.
Okay, I've got it. This is what we need to see. So I may have the wrong words here, but I want you to just get the idea of what I want to see. Post this in the Facebook group, and those of us who are on the call that are understanding your plight can look at this. So you can do this pretty rapidly, I think, because you know this stuff, Marquita, like the back of your hand. Okay, so what I want to see, I'm just drawing you a picture so you can actually see an outline. Okay, so here's my beautiful drawing. So I think you had 3 sections, right? So you had body, you had a brain and mind section, and you had a food as medicine section, and then you had a connection section. Is that right?
I actually like that, yeah. That's
Okay.
not what I like it like that.
Something similar. So guys, this is what's going to happen. Like, and then each one of these little lines is a main topic or a lesson that you need to teach, so that your people can start to take those steps towards transformation, right? And then there is a. You got that? So I've just put 4 underneath because that's a nice balance. But if you have 3, that's fine. I would have at least 3.
Okay.
You can have more. You can have, yeah. Okay. So this really is like the basic mud map. I just put it in a spreadsheet because usually other notes and ideas come up. But this is how the mud map was born. This is what I do. So when I did my pilot, this is what I had. I had a little paper like this with those notes on it, and that was it. And then I had 6 coaching sessions with 6 people. And then my program was born. I had no video content. I had no worksheets. I had no workbook. Right? Because you don't know what you need until you start engaging with people, but you have the resources within you to calibrate them and give them exactly what they need to take the next step. So this is a really powerful tool. I know it looks really silly. I mean, not silly, but simple. But this is all you need to get somebody through your pilot. Okay? So what's likely to happen is, Marquita, you might say, okay, what's a topic that's under brain and mind that you know you've got to teach? And just, you don't need to look at anything because you know.
Okay, inner knowing.
Inner knowing. Okay, nice one. Okay, and then what else? What's another topic they need?
The conscious, the mind, the subconscious, conscious mind, and how they create.
Yeah. Okay, and another one?
Mindfulness. Being the constant observer of your thoughts.
Okay, and is there anything else? It's really important about brain and mind so that they get it and they're like, oh.
Core values.
Core values, okay. Okay, now do you see here, I am not judging anything that Marquita said, and neither should Marquita, because we're creating. It's like saying, oh, I put a splash of paint on my painting and I hate it. No, you just put another one. So, right? So she might find that when she starts to do that and then she fleshes out these, that she'll see, there's actually some overlaps. Or when I start to know, okay, what am I going to teach in inner knowing? Why is it important? How do you do it? What's the exercise I'm going to give? And then she does the one for core values. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm just making this up, right? I'm teaching the exact same thing. So you get rid of one, or you rename it and you combine them together. And that's how you create your signature program or your mud map. You know, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this one up here should really be down here because it's so much more relevant to this section. And then you test it out in your pilot. Like, a pilot is not perfect. That's really important. It's to test. And that's why you give a half price. That's why you know, it's a pilot. You really are you're testing the waters. Marquita, does that help at all? That kind of thinking is.
I was reading it.
Oh, don't read it because okay. Sorry, I can.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm looking over it. Yes, but
okay. Here, I love that you look. My beautiful handwriting.
I have it.
Okay, great. So, but this is how it can, like, you can go to your pilot with this. The most important thing is that you can sell this in a sales conversation, you know, and that visual anchoring is the really, so step 1 is this, step 2 is this, and you talk about it with confidence. Like, this is what Nicole really needs to work on, is that talking confidently about her structure so that when she believes it, her people will believe it. That's the exact transition that I felt in my business when I believed it and I had certainty, even though I changed it the next time I did it. But I get better, right? That you've got to have that certainty and be able to talk about it. This is, the structure. Okay, I'm waffling. I know somebody told me they liked it when I waffled, but I still try to not do it too much. All right. Marquita, how are you feeling?
I feel better. It's like I feel like, because I think I've just felt tense,
Yeah,
so yeah. Like,
Okay,
I
so
just together.
my interpretation of this is that is your own resistance creeping up to prevent you from getting out there and doing your work. Like, that's what I see. Whenever I see you guys getting confused, getting overwhelmed, it's your resistance, it's your fear, because you're so close to overstepping and stepping into a whole new space, which is scary because, oh my gosh, what's all this new possibility that I'm going to open up in my life and in my business when I've completed this work? So we get muddled, we get confused, we say, oh, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, and that holds us back. We all know that because we're all coaches, right? It's hard to see it in yourself, but that is resistance. And it's interesting because with you guys in this situation, like it's a lot of resistance in this kind of a group because you're all about to step into this whole new space of awesomeness and it's scary. So I'm going to come back to just manage your emotional state. When you're feeling overwhelmed, say, what is that? No, just say, this is resistance, and go take a walk. Like, get out of your head, Marquita.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I feel more relaxed just because I didn't realize it's tense. Yeah.
Like when we were doing the PTSD thing and we went to that sort of calm space, even though it was a different program, and you went into that space and you wrote your whole program in 10 minutes. So it should be that easy, okay? Yeah, so that's your thing. If it's hard, it's not right.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I'm glad you said that. So right now it's not right.
It's not right. And I think Mary Elizabeth called it, like, she's like, you're pushing, you're overthinking. Like, yes, stop it. Because it's not going to bring you success in your business to overthink and create from here.
That's true.
So I'm about to write a book about this whole process, and I think I'm going to spend a lot of time on that bit, like creating from your creative source and just being and then not creating when you're not in that mood. Even if your calendar says write blog posts or work on my signature program on Monday at 2:00, but you feel like, nah, don't go swimming, go do something else. I'm such a huge believer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel much better. Thank you, Bené.
Okay, Marquita, keep us posted. Keep us posted in the Facebook group. And thank you so much for sharing this, because I have a feeling that you're not the only one that's doing this. Like, I do it. Right? And yeah, we've just got it. Where am I vibrating? Where am I vibrating? Is it here? Then let's create, let's go crazy. And then it should be fast, it should be fun, and it should flow. And when it's doing that, you've nailed it. Okay?
Excellent. All right.
Cool. Okay, I think I've hopefully I've said that enough. All right, who else wants to go? As you can tell, I'm just staying on the call until we're done. So if you guys need to go, you're more than welcome to. Helga is next.
Hello. I've just been reading through, I've just got home and I'm reading through what I put on Facebook. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep, beautiful. Yeah, so some great feedback there, but I haven't had a chance to look at that other video that you did down the bottom. I haven't had a listen to that. So I've still got to go back and have a listen to that.
Yeah, I do.
Am I on the right path? I guess I'm a little bit stuck with, like, obviously I don't want to have the, I don't know if Mary's still on. Yes, is Mary still on?
Mary Elizabeth.
Yeah. Yeah, she mentioned that she didn't quite love the kickstart. Did anyone have any other suggestions for the heading of my ebook?
I think we talked about that in the video.
Did you?
We did, but we didn't come up with a great one. There were a couple of ideas, but Marlon really wanted you to play around with that. So I would recommend between now and our meeting, put up a couple of headlines in the Facebook group and tag us in there, and let's get some feedback in there.
All right. It's basically just starting a whole food I think more whole food nutrition. And obviously I've got to change it because that's all pure raw diet that's in there. So I want to do the 3 options, a beginner's, intermediate, because people are coming from a different, some people don't eat raw at all. Some people already eat part raw, part cooked. So I want to give them 3 different options.
Okay, but not in your freebie, right?
Would I go?
We loved your freebie.
Oh, good. Yeah, but that's all like raw. So I guess I've got to pull it back, because if someone looks at that, they'll think, oh my gosh, you don't cook anything. It's all raw, and it might be too hard.
Okay. Do you guys have any comments on that? It didn't jump out to us that it was all raw. It was like it was just like a week of cleansing or something. So
it's 4 weeks.
So you do that plan for the 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Watch the video, Helga, because
yeah.
Our biggest feedback was pretty much adding those other components. So adding the cover page, adding the context page, then the freebie, and then your call to action at the end. Sorry, I went off screen with my visual anchoring here.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's simple. I can do that. That's no worry. I guess I was caught up on the actual what I'm going to deliver.
No, we loved it. So it's great. Leave it exactly as it is, because your testimonials already from your group who are using it are positive. Like people are loving it. I would just stick with it and launch it, and then let's see how we go. The most important thing is we just need to work on that headline, and then you need to add those components so that it looks like a book.
No worries. And then with my 3 pillars, I put them on the Facebook 1, 2, and 3. I'd like to simplify them. Like I was just listening to Mary Ellen's where she was helping Bethany, like so simple, power, purpose, plan.
Yeah. Those are good. Alliteration.
I would love to simplify mine because,
Okay.
So
that's great. We can totally do that. Is that something you want to do on the call now, or?
Well, I don't know if anyone has any thoughts now. Like, I still like fuel your vessel. Like your vessel, I still like that for number 2. But the top one is the mind-body connection and the belief and confidence. So it's really all belief, but it's the mind as well. So, which is belief. It all stems back to the mind. Confidence, it stems back to the mind.
So what are can you just tell us that fuel your vessel is 1? What's 2?
No, number 1 is your mind-body connection and your belief and confidence. So there's sort of the 4 of them. Body and belief. Yeah. So that your thoughts create the disease within your body. So it's a whole session about reframing your thoughts and your verbal conversations as well, and obviously the belief and self-confidence. And that's all tied together.
I would call that mind creates disease. Personally.
Oh my gosh. There you go. Mind creates disease, yeah. And just wrap all those in there, those components.
And then you want to teach mind, body, confidence, reframing your thoughts. Like those are your lessons.
Yeah, that's and leave fuel your vessel, because that's, And then stepping into your power is it's the confidence as well, but it's all the maintenance tools, the affirmations, the gratitude, the principles to stop you from procrastinating and keep moving forward.
Okay. Step into your power is about moving forward.
Yeah, which is still okay, but I think it's overused.
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't know if anyone has anything else, stepping into your power. So it's your final.
So is that the 3rd one, or is that the 2nd one?
That's the 3rd one. The middle one was fuel your vessel.
Got it. Okay.
And that's eating. That's looking at what you consume.
Yeah,
and your external environment as well. Yeah.
Power. Okay, thoughts, comments, guys? So we've got mind creates disease, fuel your vessel, step into your power.
I like them.
And my whatever you call it, segue after those 3 is the new you, which is where you just maintain it and you're part of a group and you pay a subscription and you just stay part of that group to maintain. And that's called the new you.
Okay. I think it's solid as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to have alliteration.
Okay, and then just leave it step into your power. I'll work on that last one because
The other word that that came up when you were talking was moving like forward. The word forward. I thought there could be a play that you could use there. But step into your power, solid.
it is solid.
In my
yeah.
view, I don't know what you think, Mary Elizabeth.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, yeah. Sweet. All right. Well, I'm excited. I've got a bit of work to do, but I'm excited. So I'm going to play with my my ebook.
Yeah. So your homework, Helga, is finish your ebook. So as much as you can, like flesh out the cover page, the context page, then your planner, and you'll get all the feedback from the lesson, the thing that Marla and I recorded for you.
Yeah.
And then last is the call to action page. And I think we gave you some ideas on that too.
Call to action, and then get stuck into the homework which is the
emails. Yeah. And at least come with the subject headlines and bring those so that you've thought through the whole concept and you can present that to Marlon. And if you want to start writing some emails because you feel inspired, then do it.
No worries. So, and those emails is obviously I've got to go and listen to it, but that's a sequence. Is it a step where you're taking people? Yeah. Okay.
So, would you like to talk to this one? You know about this stuff. What is the email sequence for?
Yeah, email sequence just to basically lead the horse to the water. It gets them warmer. It's a step by step. They get hit with it. They get warmer and warmer. So it's
so I could be talking more about the eating plan, some challenges that they might come up with, or is it just Yeah.
And Marlon will guide you through that, like the templates and the concepts in the videos will guide you through, and you'll get ideas. Just have a pen and paper ready, write down 1 to 8, and when he's talking through them, just write down what comes up. Like, let the process be easy.
Yep. Cool. Thank you very much. This has been really helpful, this session.
It's been a fun session. Yeah, I think I have to do more of these. So now I'm going to add these into the next academy. As you can see, we create organically and we respond to what people tell you. So thank you, all of you, for your awesome feedback and helping each other. Like, it's really been powerful. Okay, is there anything else we need to talk about, or?
One quick question.
Yeah.
When's the next meeting?
It's a normal meeting time.
Thursday.
Okay.
Oh, well, you're Wednesday.
Wednesday night for you.
Okay. I'm probably going to have to rain check. I don't know, because it's Halloween here, so I'm taking the kids trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
So I'm going to probably have to rain check. I don't know. I'll probably watch the video recap, but is there anything that I'm supposed to look into or look for here with missing this meeting?
Well, no, we're going to really spend the time on looking at people's freebies and the email sequence. That's what tomorrow's all going to be about. Are you feeling comfortable with that?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with it. Marlon and his crew, I just sent them some revisions on the ebook they sent me this morning. So they're going to revise it, get it back to me, and my website should be done in a few days. So everything should be pretty good. I'm going to start drafting up some content for emails.
Great.
So.
Okay, cool. And you know what? You can, if you want to run those ideas past Marlon, you can wait until next week and bring your email ideas to the next meeting. So, yeah. So
right,
just work on your emails.
All right. And then now I did build my website out with ClickFunnels. So, I figured might as well go after that 2 Comma Club award. So. Okay. Well,
and I think Marlon, he has some experience with ClickFunnels, but we're going to be talking geek stuff, not this week, but next week. That'll be all about what systems do we use, how do we build it out. We'll be talking about some of that fun stuff. Okay. So you'll be at that meeting, so you can bring that to the table, which will be good because some other people might be interested in ClickFunnels too.
Cool.
Great. Okay, Mary Elizabeth.
Okay, so how will I pick off where I left off?
Yes. Did you have a go yet?
Nope.
You didn't. Okay, so hold on. So even though I'm changing directions, work I've done, I want to make sure the work I've done is not wasted. And when I circle back, I feel like I know exactly what to do. Okay, so I think for you, it sounds like everybody loved your program. Like, so you've got a lot of validation on the structure and what you were doing. So that's great. So all that work that you did to get to where you were is great. You just need to present it to a different audience. I think the thing to think about, it might, because my interpretation of your situation now is you don't really have a vast network of executive women to kind of reach out to and get this information from, but you're going to start doing that. You've got some ideas about using LinkedIn and so on, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So because what could happen is we want to make sure that a professional executive woman has the same pain points and needs. So I would go back out with the top 3 challenges question, and just look at your A to Z diagram and maybe even make a new one just to see, is there anything new in this content that I didn't get before? Dino, did you want to say something?
Oh, no, I'm just playing with
Okay.
time.
Just holding your pen up. Okay, you can play with your pen. I just it looked like you wanted to add something. Okay, so I would post that question once you've built up that network, and you can get at least 8 people to respond to it, Mary Elizabeth, that are in that niche. That would be the best. Ask favors, ask friends of friends. Do you know anyone? Ask people in this group. Like, I've been thinking, who do I know? But I know everybody I know is a coach. So they're like an executive, but they're also a coach. So I'm like, that's not going to help. Because that's not who you need.
So how long, just a technical question, or how you run your program, how long will we have access to these videos?
I think on the sales page, I put 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah. If you need an extension for any reason, like, just ask me. Like, I'm a person. It's a click of a button. So,
and then how do I noticed Sylvia's been jumping in a little bit with us. And I don't know if Jill took the first academy with you, or
she did my pilot signature program. Yeah.
So what is your repeat policy?
My repeat policy is amazing. So with Sylvie, and I kind of make it up as I go. Sylvie wanted to do the Facebook stuff because she was thinking about maybe changing gears a little bit. So I think I just offered her a super amazing price. I cut out all of my bit, and I cut out all of my profit for selling it because I didn't actually have to market for her. So there's all sort of really nice deals. So
okay.
And she basically, I've said the whole marketing bit, and she's like, Bené, I only want the sales funnel bit. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll do this for you. So basically, you tell me what you need, and we'll figure out, and you'll get an awesome deal.
Okay.
Is that a fair enough answer? I don't want to promise any numbers or anything right now because I just haven't looked at them exactly.
Well, and I don't even know what I'm asking for, so that's fair not to promise.
So I think what I would like for all of you to take away from it is, tell me what you need and what you want to happen, because I can work with that, and I will find a solution for you.
Okay.
Because we've got so much content. Like, my problem is to just not overwhelm you with, because I could have opened the floodgates. Like, say, here, have all this, but I don't, because that's actually not helpful.
I would actually like to do, I'd be really interested in that as well, is staying on board for like the marketing aspect, because I want to really crack the nut to Facebook and really hone in some campaigns. So I'd be really interested in staying on board for that, something similar to what she did. So. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, and then there could be a mastermind opportunity. I'm even thinking about bringing Marlon in for like ongoing optimization discussions. So
I think that would be really valuable.
Yeah.
So, especially listening to how others are tweaking it. Maybe that nothing's working, and then they do this, and then they sort of nail it.
And then everything goes.
Yeah, and sharing that within a group, I think, because it is trial and error, and if someone can find something that works that other people can benefit by learning, that's why these groups are just amazing.
Yeah.
And that's perfect, because, and I like this because we're starting with this, because like for me, like in my ads, like I ran ebooks before, I've created stuff, but it was for products. I reverse engineered like what went viral on like BuzzSumo. I create that content, I launch it. But I've always had people that done that stuff for me. So it was like, I learned the hard way. Like once I had people leave and so then I'd be up in shambles trying to figure stuff out. So what I love about this is like a blueprint, step-by-step process, like the beginning stages, how to market yourself, how to do all of this. you know, which is nice because then if you do, you know, offer a mastermind or something like, we're already familiar with your content before. We're already, so it's like just another step higher, which, you know, it really allows us to grow.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just, yeah, and have that space to nurture you that where we all speak the same language already. We've all done the same kind of funnel and we're all doing the same. Yeah. So so I would love to see that happen as a mastermind coming together next year. So we'll see. Like, I'm not going to get attached to any outcome because once I do that, I smother it and it won't happen. I just need to flow. So, but just keep me posted, seriously, what you need and what you'd ideally love to happen. I'll see if I can do it. Like I had somebody, you know, say, you know, they want to advance mastermind. I'm like, I'll see if I can put it together for you. So. Cool. I love co-creation. It's the best way to do it. All right. Anything else?
No. So I was feeling like I told you in the email, I was feeling like I was kind of got only halfway through the program and then got kind of left behind. But with your response to the email with tonight's call, it sounds clear that you're not going to leave anyone behind who is willing to keep doing the work.
You got to do the work. Yeah.
And as long as we keep talking to you about what we need, we can figure out a solution together.
Yeah, definitely. That's how I work. Okay, cool. And would you like to do another one of these calls, you think? Or shall we'll play it by ear.
I think play it by ear and see how others are feeling, but it just instills that everyone's feeling a little bit of lagging behind or a little bit stuck somewhere. So pulling it together like this, I don't know, maybe every 3 or 4 weeks might be helpful just for those people that feel that they are behind.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Everybody always says, oh, I feel behind. And I see that because I see all of you, but you guys have never been in a group together where you're hearing each other say that to each other. So this call for me was an eye-opener. I'm so grateful that it happened.
It might even, I think this situation might even almost be better than a one-on-one because we're all contributing.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, hey, I could get rid of my strategy calls, do these one-on-ones. I'll leverage my time. I could do more of them. You know.
No, these are great, and it reminds me of in another inner circle I'm with is like they're just like a live Q&A like every week. You know, it wouldn't be as frequent, but like every we get on, like everybody just contributes, and it's boom, and questions get answered, and people get unstuck. You know, and it's just like.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess for me, I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Tonight's call really it helped bring together a lot of information. Because we have to stay focused on the weekly calls so that we can do the work that we need to do. And the weekly calls are great. And I feel like I'm kind of on top of the work.
Everybody is, yeah.
But hearing people ask different questions about different parts and different components really helped me to start to get the whole picture a lot better. So I don't know what y'all think, but I thought it was really helpful to keep an eye on the big picture and to keep an eye on like how if we need to go back, how to go back.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's really good. These are definitely they're making next year. So the February course that starts
awesome
January actually. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Benet. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for your contribution.
All the way to the end. Have a great week, and I'll see you in 2 days or whatever.
Yeah, 2 days.
Okay.
See ya.
Happy coaching.
Bye everyone.
See you later.
Bye.